despite this difficult fiscal environment, New Paltz must continue to improve the quality and affordability and the affordability of our educational offerings if students are to be prepared to thrive in and contribute to a very different world, a diverse and global society, and an economy that's volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. This requires graduates who are intellectually agile, who have broad and flexible skills and capabilities that include problem solving, the ability to think creatively and analytically, to communicate effectively, including writing, speaking, and listening, who work well in diverse groups, and who have had experience applying classroom learning to real-world settings and unscripted challenges. These are the very attributes that employers tell us they're looking for in new employees, and these attributes grow out of the education that we strive to provide. This is very much a marriage of liberal education and practical education. As I stated in my inaugural speech last week, we must strive to make practical education liberal and liberal education practical. We're grateful to our state legislature and governor for recognizing the critical role of the state university system as an economic driver and the need to invest in rather than continue to cut the state university system. The 5-year rational tuition policy passed last year, and with a second increase in tuition passed this year, allows families to plan for incremental increases in tuition and enables New Paltz to hire more full-time faculty and staff so that we can enhance course availability, avoid excessive increases in class size, and provide access to academic support services such as expanded library hours that are so critical to our students' success. We need to be very clear that the tuition increase that we received last year, about $1.8 million in new revenue, and this year, about $2 million in new revenue, is a wonderful asset for us. But we need to be clear that this doesn't compare with the cumulative cuts that we've taken in the last 4 years, totaling over $12 million. So we're working to help faculty and staff and campus leadership adjust to new budget constraints and how to do things differently and more efficiently with a reduced resource base, just as I know that other business leaders have wrestled with these same constraints. As we've noted here on this slide, the legislation provides for a portion of these tuition increases to be dedicated to financial aid for the neediest New York students, lessening the pain of these tuition increases and increasing their access to a college education. However, we're very sensitive to the fact that even though SUNY tuition remains comparatively very low, increasing costs and the threat of burgeoning loan debt are straining students and their families. So we're carefully focusing our investment of these funds on instruction and student access. I want to comment briefly about teaching and learning at New Paltz. I think it goes without saying that we strive to provide the best possible classroom experiences for our students. But showing up on campus for a class without capitalizing on other opportunities can be a very limiting educational experience. We work hard to provide students with high quality, outside of classroom learning opportunities and experiences, as well as to let them apply their classroom learning to real world settings, to gain experience working effectively in diverse groups, and to actually learn how to do things. Most of our students live on or near campus, and we know that their daily interaction with faculty and staff and with fellow students is a key ingredient in their learning. This provides learning experiences that are very difficult to replicate in an online or distance education environment. As an example of this, I met 2 nights ago with a group of about 20 student leaders who have been planning a Relay for Life event that's happening on campus this weekend. They were very proud of the fact that they've already raised about $14,000 for cancer research, and they talked with me about how much they've learned about organization and planning and teamwork and networking and other real world skills. This is a great example of the kind of benefits that living and learning in a residential college environment provides for our students. Last year, Hudson Valley students represented more than half of the students earning baccalaureate degrees, and nearly 60% of those earning graduate degrees at New Paltz. Data from our most recent economic impact analysis shows that we serve many students from Dutchess County along with Ulster, Orange, and surrounding Hudson Valley counties. We're proud to be partners with 6 Hudson Valley community colleges within 45 miles of New Paltz. This is more than any other SUNY campus that offers baccalaureate degrees. My colleagues at the community college campuses, especially Dave Conklin here at Dutchess, Don Codd at Ulster, and Bill Richards at Orange, work closely with me and closely with each other to create a network of public higher education opportunities in the Hudson Valley. Just under half of our graduates each year arrived at New Paltz as transfer students, and we serve proportionally more transfer students than nearly any other SUNY campus. We believe that we serve these students very well. We have the highest retention rate for transfer students from the first year to the second year of any SUNY campus that offers baccalaureate degrees. And our students graduate at high rates, along with students who began their education at New Paltz. And these are rates higher than the averages for U.S. public universities and even for private colleges, something we're very proud of. I think you'll be interested to know that this spring, our undergraduate students include 477 young men and women who transferred to New Paltz from Dutchess Community College, more than any other single institution. I'm sure you know that college presidents seize every opportunity to brag about our institutions, and I certainly won't pass up that opportunity today. I know that some of you picked up the what I call a brag sheet that we had on the way in here, and that includes some of our points of pride. We've continued to climb in national rankings like U.S. News and World Report, Princeton Review, and Kiplinger's Guide to Best Buys in a College Education. Our graduate program in studio arts recently rose in rankings by U.S. News and World Report and is among the top 100 graduate programs in the country. These accolades demonstrate that our reputation and recognition are growing. For 23 years in a row now, we've received more applications for first-year admission than any other SUNY comprehensive college. We are in every respect at or above in our undergraduate enrollment capacity, and we've not grown our undergraduate enrollment for many years. Despite what you may have read in recent news headlines, we do not intend to grow because of these capacity constraints. But as a result of that, we've been able to become increasingly selective in our admissions standards. 10 years ago, we heard parents at prospective student events often say things like, "When my daughter comes to New Paltz." And increasingly, we're hearing, "If my daughter can be accepted at New Paltz." I think that one of the most important aspects of a high-quality educational environment for students is the caliber and quality of fellow students. Professors are able to teach at a higher level in a classroom full of bright students, and some of the best learning is very social. So the quality and dedication of classmates matters a lot in educational quality. We're a diverse campus with more than 30% of students in this year's incoming class from historically underrepresented groups. Studies show that SUNY New Paltz students are far more likely than peers at other colleges and universities to have had meaningful conversations with students of different racial background and different religious or political beliefs. And we think that's pretty important for their ability to learn to navigate a complex and diverse world. Some of you may have read about, there we go. Some of you may have read about racial incidents on our campus this past fall. These were senseless acts of one or perhaps a couple, we believe, misinformed individuals. But I think the real story here is the way that the college community came together both to condemn those acts and to learn more about race and racism and the way that they play out on a college campus. I'm very proud of our students, our faculty, and our staff in the way that they've committed to addressing these issues facing all of American society, even though these are very difficult conversations for many of us. We've identified and are close to filling a new position as a Chief Diversity and Compliance Officer at the campus who will guide and lead some of this work. As I noted a few minutes ago, our students graduate at rates well exceeding national averages. That's true for all of our students, including for African American and Latino students. And we've been recognized nationally for these accomplishments in an era when graduation rates of students of color are a real concern. Our graduate programs are key to educating an advanced workforce for the Hudson Valley, and we're committed to refining and growing our graduate offerings. Our traditional graduate educational strengths have been in teacher education and school administration, business, the arts, and in engineering. We have the only undergraduate and graduate engineering programs in the region, and we are either developing or considering the development of new programs that we think will contribute to workforce needs, such as a professional science master's that blends science, technology, and business, a 4+1 engineering program that results in students earning both BS and MS degrees in a 5-year period. And we're also exploring the development of a mechanical engineering program that we know will support workforce needs in the region. In the last 5 years, we've experienced the most significant investment of state funding in building renovation and construction since the Rockefeller era. It's very exciting. These projects are beginning to address the poor and outdated condition of many of our facilities and the reality that we have less space per student than any other SUNY campus of our type. We're grateful to our state legislators for their support in securing the funding for these improvements. Our construction is supported by bonded monies, and I think you're all aware that these are not available for covering the gaps between state revenue and operating expenses that we've been wrestling with these past few years. Last year, we and our students began using the wonderful addition to our Student Union building, the atrium. If you've not visited this, I really encourage you to do so. This addition is making it more feasible and more attractive for us to host and convene events that benefit the region. Such events in recent months have included one of the Lieutenant Governor's Economic Development Council sessions, a manufacturing conference, and a conference on disaster relief and mitigation for Senator Gillibrand. Last summer, our School of Education moved back into a renovated old main, which is the oldest building on campus, and we renovated a 1960s era residence hall. This summer, we'll begin renovating our library in the Wooster building, and we're planning a new science building and a new residence hall. And we've been making great improvements in the appearance and functionality of our campus grounds. In addition to making our campus more beautiful and functional, I think you all appreciate that these projects bring many construction jobs to the region. As I said earlier, public colleges and universities must play a regional role supporting citizens, communities, and organizations. It's important that we do this without losing sight of the primary reason that society supports us, which is to educate students. This part of our mission is reflected in both the college mission and in Chancellor Zempfer's Power of SUNY strategic plan for the SUNY system, which focuses on linking SUNY campuses to our communities and their social, cultural, and economic welfare. Colleges and universities nationwide are economic engines and assets in the regions that we serve. Our most recent study showed that the economic impact of SUNY New Paltz is about $338 million annually in the Hudson Valley and nearly $400 million annually in New York. This includes direct spending that incorporates employee salaries, our purchases of goods and services, spending by students, and visitor spending. The direct spending by the college and by employees, students, and visitors circulates indirectly through the economy, supporting and enriching local business and industry. That economic impact analysis showed that vendor expenditures in Dutchess County in that year were well over $5 million, the highest of any county except New York County, where we spent nearly $7 million. About 1/3 of our vendor expenditures are in the 7-county Hudson Valley region, and we'd love to have that be higher if we could work through state procurement policies. The college is the 3rd largest employer in Ulster County, with more than 1,700 full and part-time employees and about 1,800 student employees. This includes faculty members, accountants, architects, chefs, engineers, graphic designers, nurses, police officers, carpenters, painters, plumbers, and so on and so on. In effect, we run a small city. Nearly 10% of our employees reside in Dutchess County, earning a salary of more than $6 million annually. New Paltz alumni are an important part of the citizenry and workforce in the Hudson Valley. About 44% of our alums remain in the Hudson Valley and about 71% in the state of New York. We have more than 7,700 alumni working age, under age 65, in Ulster County and roughly 5,000 each in Dutchess and Orange counties. Our college employees embrace the values of volunteerism and community service. Our analyses show an annual contribution by college employees of 140,000 volunteer hours. That's the equivalent of nearly 70 people working full-time throughout the year in service to others in the region. Many of our faculty, staff, and administrators contribute their time and expertise to serve companies and nonprofit organizations, one of the ways that the college supports business and economic development in the region. We're very excited that our School of Business has established a business support center that serves as a locus for businesses and regional economic development entities who want to tap into the knowledge, energy, and resources of SUNY New Paltz, especially its faculty and students. Our Center for Research, Regional Education and Outreach, CREO, under the leadership of Professor Gerald Benjamin, conducts and publicizes research on topics of regional significance. These include things like government efficiency and intergovernmental collaboration, water quality, criminal justice and jail systems, and regional agriculture. An overall goal of CREO is to support informed discussion of public policy problems facing the Hudson Valley and to bring people and organizations together to better the quality of life in the region. CREO recently developed an index of regional well-being that provides objective measures of health, safety, economy, recreation, government, and other aspects of regional quality of life, so that we can understand and best respond to the challenges and the opportunities that we face. This study highlighted the prominence of the arts in Ulster County and the Hudson Valley, showing, for example, that Ulster County has more practicing artists per capita than any other area of New York outside of New York City. The ability of people to make a living as artists in the Hudson Valley is tied to and supports the regional tourism industry, which is a significant part of our regional economy. As those of us who live in New Paltz and try to drive around on any weekend in the summer and fall know. So we hope you'll cross the bridge and visit us. The arts have always been a strong suit at New Paltz, and the Dorsky Museum is a key part of our arts programming. Now in its 10th year, the Dorsky has grown into a key player in the Hudson Valley by supporting exhibitions of Hudson Valley artists, by showcasing the work of emerging regional artists, and by collaborating with other arts organizations to support the arts and draw visitors to the region. A final example I'll offer of college and community partnership is student internships. Each year, hundreds of our students are placed in internships, some paid, some for academic credit. These are important capstone experiences that give students a chance to apply what they've learned in the classroom to real-world settings, to test and develop their skills, to gain real-world work experience, and for employers to test drive possible future employees in a fairly low-cost way. Here's a sampling of some of the Dutchess County businesses and organizations that provided internship opportunities for New Paltz students. We're very grateful for this wonderful support for our programs. We hear from companies and organizations how much they value the opportunity to work with student interns, and how much our students contribute to their work. On our 2011 survey of internship providers, for example, internship supervisors reported a 90% positive rating of student interns, and nearly all of them said that they would hire other interns from SUNY New Paltz. Here's a quote from one of our providers. This student was outstanding. She was a hard worker and went above and beyond. She has since been hired by our organization. That's a really cool story. That's a great outcome for all of us. So this is one of the important ways that you and other members of the community provide opportunities for our students that we believe provide a good return on your investment. If you're interested in learning more about the returns and rewards of being an internship sponsor, please contact our Career Resource Center at the New Paltz campus. I want to close by reinforcing a few key points that are so important to me that I highlighted them in my inaugural address, where I laid out some of my vision for the future of SUNY New Paltz. You can read that address on the website if you're interested in suffering from insomnia. First of all, we aim to be a public higher education institution of the highest quality. We believe that the Hudson Valley and the rest of New York deserve an educational option that is both affordable and of very high quality. This is our niche. We are your public university. Secondly, we play key roles in the region economically, culturally, and socially, and we want to continue building and reinforcing such contributions. And finally, we understand that we depend on you, and we hope that support will continue at the same time that we support and enhance all of your work. Thank you very much.
I want to thank Dr. Kristen for that insightful glimpse into SUNY New Paltz and all of the contributions that it makes to our greater Hudson Valley community. It's also a delight to present to him one of these beautiful prints of our own Hudson Valley Balloon Festival. So I hope this too will hang in SUNY New Paltz. To have you, and we've been delighted to have all of you. You have been a wonderful audience this morning. We accomplished a lot, didn't we? Give ourselves a round of applause. I want to thank you for attending and encourage you to visit our nonprofits on the way out. They are Poughkeepsie Public Library District, the Alzheimer's Association, and Trinity Players. Please also visit our Hudson Valley Young Professionals Outreach Committee table for information regarding the Request the Energy program. Our 2 more seconds, folks. The next breakfast will be held on May the 16th right here at the Poughkeepsie Grand, and I guarantee you will not want to miss it because it is our annual Chamber Foundation Educational Scholarship Program for our 2012 recipients. It's going to be sponsored by Rhinebeck Savings Bank. So with that, make it a great day. Thanks. Rhinebeck Bank.